What's going on, YouTube? It's your boy Deep Art, and we're back with another video. In today's video on the Deep Art channel, we want to talk about a specific thing for you guys today. So if you're tuning in from wherever you're tuning in, hope y'all are doing good. Hope y'all living good, and glad to see y'all come kicking with me, right? So, for the time being. So, in this video right here in Deep Art, we want to expand on the subject of being able to operate in angles, right? Part 2, okay? So now coming from my deep rhythm side of the video, we discussed that being able to operate in angles is, well, we're going to recap, right? So being able to operate in angles is very important and crucial because, we're developing the same function or the same functionality of a different outlet, okay? So when we develop ourselves in outlets, we have to be able to function and notice and know, the ins and outs of the outlet that we do, right? But then there's the better then to be able to continue to develop ourselves in that outlet. We have to utilize our other outlets as an extension of our initial outlet to continue training the same functionality. So in this video, we want to talk about just being able to continue to do that, right? Continue to take the same functionality, and apply it in a different, right? Take the same functionality, right, and utilize it, right, and to continue reinforcing that psychology or that functionality, right? And it's, and this is very important to be able to do because as you continue to develop yourself in the same functionality, you become more and more reinforced in that functionality, which will then allow you to be able to better program yourself to be able to keep, utilize other concepts of that functionality as an extension of yourself in the initial outlet that you do, right? And this is very key important because now as society changes and as times change and as new things get equated and as society continues to adjust, right? We have to be able to keep up with the times and be able to, adjust ourselves in order to fit ourselves into these structures and these outlets, right? And the most important thing to understand is, by developing yourself in the same functionality through different outlets is very crucial because now you're inserting yourself into these different outlets, right? And now you can apply the different psychologies into that, right? So, and this is important because as we continue to develop ourselves into these different outlets, and we continue to keep growing ourselves in these different functionalities, now we're able to continually be able to advance and continue to grow, and be able to continue to expand in different ways that allow us to be able to always stay on top and always continue to grow. And always continue to move ourselves around, right? Maneuver and adjust with whatever confronts us, whatever time confronts us, or whatever fits into our systems or crosses our path, right? Our vicinity. So that's the important thing to know, and that's the important thing to understand as we continue to grow and expand and evolve, right? It's being able to make those adjustments, right? And develop and the ability to strengthen yourself in all aspects, right? Strengthening all aspects of yourself, right? You want to be able to strengthen all aspects of yourself, right? Because that's the nature. That's the nature of life, right? And as you continue to be able to do that, now you can be able to expand. Now you can be able to expand and adjust with times, and never really lose sight of, what I'm saying. You always stay on top of what you're trying to stay on top of. You never lose sight, what I'm saying, or you never lose functionality in what you do. So that's the most important thing to understand. That's the most important thing to do, right? Is to continue to be able to do that. You know what I'm saying? So that's the extension of this little presentation that we want to be able to say, and we want to be able to continue to do is just to be able to constantly always readjust and always, keep utilizing things as an extension of your own self, keep developing yourself in new outlets, for the same functionality of
For instance,
what you're
like
what you're
like
doing.
with
And this is
gaming,
how we create, new
create
patterns and new
whatever
systems
world you
functioning
create. You know what I'm saying?
in
But the
order to
functionalities of it stays
be
the
able to,
same. Whether we
continue to
playing
grow
basketball,
that
you could be
system or
playing
expand that system or
basketball.
whatever
You know what
you're
I'm saying
trying to do, right?
on a court. I
So
mean, you could
that's
be
the
playing
nature of this
basketball
video. That's
court in
the
a
important
city.
thing we
You
want
could be
to really
playing
touch on
basketball court in the
is that
mountains. You
aspect
could be
right
playing
there, just being
basketball.
able
You know what I'm
to
saying? You know what I'm
constantly
saying?
expand
In the
all
desert,
aspects of
you could be
yourself
playing basketball in the. It
and
don't
to always
matter. Like
continue
it's
to
still the
grow,
same game,
right?
and
Always
it's
continue
still
to
the same
grow. You know what I'm
functionalities of the
saying?
same game,
So
but it's just
that's
in
the
a different
important thing, right?
location, in a
And
different
the
environment.
deeper we
You know what I'm
go
saying?
into this, the deeper
So
we
you know
go
what I'm
into,
saying? The energy
the
gonna be different.
expansion itself,
You see what I'm saying?
um,
So
the more we're
that's the real
able to
kicker,
really
and
carve out ourselves
that's
right.
the
Because nobody wants to be
you
stuck.
know
You know what I'm
the
saying?
funny part of
Nobody wants to be
when we
stuck
talk
in
about
time, and nobody
different
wants to be
environments,
stuck
right?
in like
So where is
you
it that
know
you want this thing
just
placed?
caught up
You know what I'm
in
saying?
what I'm saying, just caught up in time and being stuck,
Is
and
what we're
getting
looking
beat
at,
or
right?
defeated
And how do
by
you want to calculate that?
your
You know what I'm
environment or your
saying, in
system or
terms of
whatever.
talking about
Now you want to be able to
environments.
continue
But
to just
anyway,
run
we're
the
gonna
system,
conclude this
right?
joint right
You want to
here.
be able to continue to just
Um,
reinforce
this
the
your boy
system
Deep
and be
Art.
able to continue to grow. That's the whole point.
Back with some
You know what
more
I'm saying? It's
back
because
with
the
some
whole
more
point is
work.
to
You see what
continue
I'm
to be able
saying?
to grow
But
within
the
any
last note
environment, within any
I want to
circumstance, with
hit
any
on this one right
functionality
here
in
in
order
this
to get your
video
cause,
is
and your
even with
objectives
training,
across, your point across,
with
right?
training,
To get your message
you
across.
know,
So
when you
that's the
train,
important thing um,
um,
that you want to be able to do.
you can.
And
The
by
environment is important, right? Like you
utilizing,
could
of
be having
course,
the same
different
drills,
outlets,
you could be having
always
the
continue
same
to develop your mind
the
and
same
utilize different
workouts
outlets as an
that are
extension,
doing the same
you know what I'm
thing.
saying, of your
But if
initial
you have
outlet
it,
and the
you
same
put it in a
functionality,
different
right?
environment,
All you're doing
right? And you put a
is
different type of
changing the outlet.
value and a
You know
different
what I'm
type
saying?
of
This is operating
appearance and a
angles
different type
because
of
now your
presentation.
mind is being
You
cross-trained in
put it in
different
a different
outlets and being able
environment,
to come back to the
like
initial
the
function
workout becomes
and being
different.
able
You know what I'm
to
saying?
train itself and develop
And
itself
that's what we
in this
really want to
initial
touch
function,
on,
right?
right? You know what I'm
This
saying?
is very crucial and
In this
very
video
important
is
because
literally,
as you
you know,
continue to
when
develop yourself this way,
you can
you know,
literally
as you
train.
continue to develop, cross-train yourself and
You can
develop yourself
train
this way,
weight room
now
training,
you can
right?
be able to insert your
Doing a
business. Now you can be
bicep
able to
curl, right?
insert
Doing bicep curls or doing,
your whatever you're
you
trying to
know,
insert into different outlets and different functionalities. And you
tricep
make yourself that
extensions
much more
or
flexible
lateral
and
pull
that much
downs,
more adjustable
and
to
you could be
anything
doing
that you're trying to do, right?
these weight
As
room
much as the
training, or you
times
could be,
change and as much as
doing a
things
tennis ball
flip, you
catch
can
when you're
always reinsert
balancing. You
yourself
could
and
be doing
readjust
all these
yourself and
different
fit yourself
things,
into that environment
but
under
by
that
changing
circumstance
the
because you're always
environment, simply
constantly
changing the
adjusting your own
environment
business, right? You're
of
always
where
continually
you're doing
adjusting your own
these
business and
workouts,
your own structure and
and these
functionalities, right?
exercises,
And as you continue to
can
adjust
really
your
dictate
functions and functionalities, this is
how you
important
really train
because
yourself, and you
now you're
really
adjusting
train
yourself. You're adjusting
your
what you know.
synapses,
You know what I'm saying? You're not learning new things. You're reinforcing and redeveloping
your
old things,
motor
right? You're
neurons,
reinforcing old things
you know what I'm
into
saying,
new systems and into new
the conceptualization
new
of,
outlets, right?
you know,
And that's the important and that's
your
the
motor
important
neuron,
key
all
thing
this
in
stuff
order to
becomes different.
uh,
You know what I'm saying? How you
remain
conceptualize
sustainable
everything
time
becomes
and time
different
again,
now,
right?
right? And
It's
that's what we
reinforcing
really
the old
want
things
to
into new
actually,
outlets, right?
you know,
And this is important
touch on and speak on, and that's what we
because when
really
we talk
wanted
about
to talk about.
sustainability,
You know what I'm
the most
saying?
sustainable thing that
That's
you
what we
can
really wanted to
possibly
talk
do
about. Like,
in
you know what I'm
terms of
saying?
growing
Just,
yourself is
you know,
by being
changing
able to
the
always
environment
constantly
just makes that
reiterate
much
and
more of a
reinforce the
difference,
original
right?
thing,
So it's just a
not
matter
trying
of being
to
able to calculate
flow into new things. Because
where you're doing
if you try
certain
to
workouts
develop
at,
yourself in
where you're
the
doing
new
certain
thing,
exercises at,
now
what type
if you
of
try to
effect are you
develop
trying to
yourself
get
in the
behind
new thing,
these
now
workouts and
you're
these
subjected
exercises,
to the
right?
changes of that new thing.
So
And as
that's
times
you know,
continue to
what we're going to
change,
talk about it.
you're
Talk about
always
in this
going to
video,
have to
and you
readjust
know,
yourself, and
um,
you're always going to be
yeah, we're gonna
subject
conclude on that note right there.
to the
But
times,
you
right?
know,
You're a
it's a
slave to the
matter
times,
of
basically,
you know
almost.
what values do you want
If I may
out
put
of
that,
these
to put that better,
exercises
if I may put that better,
at this point,
I
at
mean, a
this
better way to
moment,
put it
right? You
is,
could be doing
you're
some
always
type of functional reflex training.
you're
You know what I'm
dependent
saying,
on
with
the time.
balance,
You're
and
dependent
you know you
um,
could be
on
conceptualizing it in the form of
how
we're
the
going to
times and how
focus
the
on the
trends and
value
how
of
you
um
know how to and how
maybe
society structures itself.
uh
You're
your
dependent on
motor
it,
neurons,
right? In order for
literally
you
your
to be able
brain's
to
ability
live,
to reflexively
it controls how you live,
track
right?
something,
But as you continue to
track
develop yourself
something,
and
and
your system,
reflexively
your
be
original
able
system,
to and
and operate
accurately
an
be able to
angle
hit
to be able
something,
to fit incorporate the same
you know what I'm saying,
functionality
that could
into
be,
these new
you
outlets.
know what I'm saying,
Now you can
what
be
your
able to
what your
control and
value is,
dictate,
right?
how you
Or
fit
maybe
within the time. And
you could
now
do the
the
same
time
exercise,
and
but the value
society or
is
the
for the
environment doesn't have that
basketball,
type of
right?
control of you,
You
how you
know,
function
the
in society.
value
You can
of
still
your
do
ability
things that way, buddy.
to
That's the whole
read
idea.
and
The whole
react
idea is to
to
be able to
a defender
continue to
or
function the same way,
an
and
aggressive
not have
defense
to
while
change
being able to
nothing
maintain footwork.
for whatever
Like
time specific stuff.
so,
You can just
it's
function your
like
own self and your own system
what is the
within those
environment,
times,
what is the
whatever time it
value,
is, right?
and
That's the
how are
whole
you
idea.
trying to
You know what I'm
apply
saying? You're not
this
changing
type of
nothing. You know
strengthening
what I'm
and this
saying?
type of strength? Like how are you trying to apply
As
this?
times
What do you
change,
want
we
it to
adjust
look
our
like,
own
and what do you
functionality.
want the
Same
simulation? How do you
functionality,
want
just
the
different times.
simulation of it
See what I'm saying? And
to
we put
play
our
out?
stuff, we put
Like
things
literally,
together,
right?
and
How do you
we
want to
develop
simulate?
ourselves, and we get
So
better in order for us to be able to put
that's
our functionalities in
that's
place in order to be able to
that's what we want to
continue
that's what we're looking at, and
you know what I'm saying, continue to grow
that's
going ahead, you know what I'm
the
saying, going
important
forward,
thing
right?
to
That's the
I mean
practice,
that's what we're
and that's the
trying
training, right?
to
It's to be
incorporate
able to
into training,
adapt
like
yourself
not
and
just
develop yourself to
you
fit,
know
you know what I'm saying, whatever
to make
times
training
happen to be
more
in
functional and
place,
more
right?
mentally,
And that's the
right?
most
So
important
that's
training.
gonna conclude this video right here.
You know what I'm
We dropped
saying? That's the
some
most
good
important
gems in this
training
one. Hopefully this one
to
was
be
good.
able to do, right?
Hopefully
And if we can do
maybe
that,
somebody can
then
take from this one.
we
This is
won't have
gonna
a
go on
problem,
deep art.
you know, continuing to adjust
This is
as
gonna go on
times
deep
go on,
art, and
right?
we got
Because all we're doing
one
is
more video
reiterating the
coming for
same
you
system.
on the Critical Thought
You know what I'm
channel.
saying? All we're doing is reiterating the same
Regarding this
systems that we
topic.
had, you know what I'm
So
saying, before.
yeah, it's your
That's when
boy D
when we was
Rhythm.
doing
We
whatever we
talking
was
about
doing as a
environmental
kid, growing
training,
up to
and
about 18, what we
to
was
do a
doing
slight
between that time,
recap.
between
We're
18 and
talking about
24,
taking
and reiterating the
functionality,
same
you know what I'm saying,
functionality in
and
different
applying
outlets.
it and
And as we
incorporating
continue
it
to do
to
that
different
and
environments to
develop
bring
these in
about
different
a
outlets,
different effect or
now
more
we
a
take
more
the changing times
controlled effect
and
in
we're
terms
able
of what
to
you know what I'm saying,
reinforce or reinsert
what we
our same
want the
functionality in
perspective
these
of it
different
to
times
be,
by
right?
just
Or what
changing
the angle that we want it to
the
come from.
presentation or the
You know what I'm saying?
conceptualization
In whatever that
and fitting
functionality
that
is,
into
right? Controlling
today's
the
time. And
angle
that
of
comes with
what the
practice. We have
functionality
to
that we're
practice and
doing
be able to
is,
train
right?
our
So that
mind
functionality
to be
stays the
able to
same
function in
in what
time.
we're doing
All
and
right,
everything, right?
in
It's the
time, right?
same
As time
functionality,
continues
the
to
same
change.
thing being
You know what I'm
strengthened,
saying?
just
So
a
with
different
constant
environment,
games and
just a
with
different
constant
angle
reiteration of the
that we're taking
imagination and concepts and being able to fit our
to
own
hit that
mind and
point,
our own
right? Just a
functioning
different
in those
angle.
times and
So
in those
that's the
and
important
in
thing
those
that we're incorporating here, and that's the
imaginations,
thing that we're
now we can
really
be able
looking
to
at. So
continuously train our
we're gonna
mind
conclude this
to
video
function the same system
right here.
within all these different
Peace,
functionalities that we
love.
create and all these different
We'll catch you
imaginative
on the next one.
systems and sort
And
of creative
yeah,
mind
this
states
is
that
just
we create, right, or
some
the creative outlets
functional training,
and
right? So that's
you
gonna conclude
know,
this video right here.
worlds
Peace,
or whatever
love.
you want to call them that we
We out this
create.
joint.
We can
Let's
continue
get
to
it.
reiterate the same functions that we do into whatever type of concept and whatever type of functionality that we create. And now we're developing our mind to train the same systems in different the same systems in different outlets, right? You know what I'm saying? As we change the outlets and the components or whatever, we can be able to continue to train ourselves to function the same way. So that's the important thing that we want to be able to do going forth, and that's the most important thing we want to, you know, what I'm saying, be able to reiterate, right? Because now, as long as we can do this, and we can continue to adjust ourselves and our systems in these different outlets in whatever ways possible, now we can be able to continue to change, uh, as you know, we can be able to continually grow ourselves and you know what I'm saying, continue to change and adapt, right? To get better. So that's the important thing to be able to do. And, you know, it's going to be one road, right? We just have to be able to stay the course, be able to keep reiterating our mind and keep finding new ways in order to create complementary skills in order to, you know, say keep us developing and, you know, keep us sustaining in the altitudes that we create, right? Developing complementary skills in order to sustain us in the outlets that we create, right? As our mind continues to grow and our mind continues to expand, we just have to be able to uh, continually to create things and create symbols or put together landmarks in place that will help us to maintain ourselves at that exact moment, right? At that height, right, or altitude that we are at. So that's the important thing to understand. You know what I'm saying? It's always going to be work. Uh, it's always going to be work, but that's the key thing to remember, and that's what we want to do, right? So without further ado, we're about to conclude this video in a second. That's going to be the important thing to remember and to know. It's going to be a big push, but you know it's something that can be done, and this is exactly what we're looking for, right? So, to go back to our other point that we wanted to make in this video, though, because we do want to expand a little bit more on this topic of operating in angles, right? Part two, right? So initially, when we talk about operating angles, right? Yes, as we said before, we want to be able to take our old systems and the functionalities of these systems and developing them into new outlets, right? We want to be able to use our mind and our imagination, our creativity to create new functionalities in order for us to be able to insert these old functions into these new technicalities, right? So that's important. That's what we're going to do in these same flows, right? And the other thing, of course, is to be able to, do this and continue to grow ourselves in whatever outlets that we are trying to grow ourselves in. Right? So this is important. This is what we're trying to do. And the key thing to understand is that, man, it's always about putting the work in. You got to put the work in, right? You know what I'm saying? You got to put the work in, and you got to be able to, understand who you do it for, what you do it for, right? That's to understand who you do it for, what you do it for, the people that you do it for, and the people that you got behind you, and understand the purpose and cause of why we develop ourselves, right? You know what I'm saying? So that's the key important thing to understand as well. You know what I'm saying? Why we develop ourselves. You know what I'm saying? So by understanding why we develop ourselves, you know what I'm saying? People around us, you know what I'm saying, so they can live, so they can eat, live, grow better, and so that the functionalities of humanity and the world continue to grow, right? So that's the important thing, right? We want to be able to continue growing. We want to be able to, continue making the world a better place, not just for the phrase of making the world a better place, but actually changing the dynamic of what we see and what we see in life, right? And this is going to lead us to our next topic, which you can catch on critical.jb. So we're going to actually conclude this video right here, and we're going to bring the rest of this video over to critical.jb. So check that out when you get the chance. Peace, love. We out this joint.